Hey guys, how are you all doing? It's a girl Cindy, and I'm back again today with another gist. I trust you guys are doing great. I trust you guys had a beautiful time today. Thank you so much for clicking to watch this video. So this is a continuation of my last video. If you haven't seen it yet, please go and check it out because the heat is still on. So this black woman, that her video went viral recently because she asked black women to stitch her video, sharing if they would prefer to be in a conference room with a white woman or with a white man. Now her video again went viral, and it didn't sit well with white women. The mass reported her page, and TikTok unfortunately demonetized her account. Now, people are making videos talking about it. Like, people are frowning at these white women that reported her page. I have put together a few videos. Let's just hear from them. Like, their action literally proved black women's point. Now, this is what people are saying, because I read some comments and people were like, okay, y'all just proved their point. Let's just hear from them. I mean, this is so unfair, of them to mass report her page. Please stay with me, guys. Let's just see these videos, and of course, I'm going to show you some screenshots of comments I grabbed. Please check these videos out.
So there was a really interesting video made by White Woman Whisperer. I tried to stitch it and the audio didn't record, so I'm going to try to record it again here. I'll tag her below because you should go watch her video. But she basically poses the question, or opens up this discussion, this bear versus man discussion, to black women in asking, okay, if you're in an office, who would you rather walk in, a white man or a white woman? And she said that the collective answer would be a white man. And a lot of women are getting offended. A lot of white women are getting offended because they're like, oh my gosh, what a man could do to you is so much worse than a woman. Like, this is divisive. But like, you're not getting it. The reason why black women would choose a white man over a white woman is for the same reason that women as a collective, especially white women, would choose the bear over the man. It is the danger you know versus the danger you don't. And like, historically, the under the surface racism that white women have for black women has caused death and destruction and is absolutely a humongous danger, because black women know, like, in our society, that a white woman's accounting of things will always be taken more seriously than a black woman's. So she has to have like a distance because of personal safety. Now, I've seen this play out in my real life. I live in the South. I go to a lot of like influencer functions with like large groups of people, and I can see the difference between women of color who know me and women of color who don't, and how they interact with me and like the guard that they have up. And that's not offensive to me because it's common sense. I absolutely expect them to be apprehensive of a white woman in the South because they don't know what they're getting. But just as the whole point of the bear versus man conversation is to make men understand that women are innately apprehensive and cautious around all men, the question that White Woman Whisperer was posing is to make white women understand the cautiousness that black women have around white women. That sort of like being scared of me before I give them a reason not to is not offensive to me, because it is absolutely my responsibility to prove to these women that I am a safe person, not the other way around. You cannot like bully someone into trusting you with their personal safety. And that's a lesson for the men on the bear conversation too.
I need the white ladies to circle up because we need to have a team meeting. Somehow it was very obvious to most of y'all why women were choosing the bear over a man. We've all had a circumstance with a man that made us uncomfortable. I'm an avid hiker. I've been in the woods with both men and bears. Neither one of them have harmed me, though at no point have I ever been scared of a bear, but I have had very real reasons to feel very nervous about some of the men I've been in the woods with. I don't understand why white women aren't understanding the parallels that this has to women of color and the way they might feel about us. Other circumstances, they would choose the bear over being with white women. At least in my mind, in the bear versus man analogy, man doesn't just represent the possibility of SA, but a whole host of scenarios in which that man could cause us harm on many different levels. And white women, we have done the same thing to women of color, to people of color. Just like we are having a response to men that cannot understand, that are calling us crazy for choosing the bear, what we want them to do is listen. Listen is the next right thing for men to do, because women have very real reasons for choosing the bear. white women, the very next step for us is to listen. There are very real reasons why Black women are pointing out the harms and the real fear they have that are substantiated. All the things men are doing to us, we are now doing to women of color. Telling them the analogy doesn't line up, telling them their fears are unsubstantiated, telling them they're crazy for making this comparison. They are not crazy. They are telling us important things, things that we desperately need to learn. And the only way things are going to get better is if we take a seat and get humble and listen.
One of my favorite creators on this app, White Woman Whisper, posed a sub-question to the man versus bear question, which was, Black women, you are alone in a conference room. Who do you want to walk in? A white man or a white woman? And the answer overwhelmingly has been white man. And there are a lot of white women in the comments angry, vitriolic, that she dared pose this question, that the answer dare be men instead of women, because we want to think of ourselves as better, right? I just want to ask you, I want to invite you to this. If you are mad about that question, if you are feeling vitriolic about people saying that white women are doing as much harm as white men, where do you feel that in your body? Where is that coming up for you? If you are angry about this, if you are feeling powerful emotions about that, where are you feeling that? Because that is where you are holding misogyny and racism in your body. And deconstruction is not just a matter of the mind, it's a matter of processing it in your body. That's an invitation to learn about yourself. You are alone in a conference room. Who do you want to walk in? A white man or a white woman?
Would definitely rather be in a conference room alone with a white man than a white woman. And this is no dig at white women or white people at all. I'm married to a white man. My in-laws are white. I love my mother-in-law. She's literally one of my favorite people in the world. I love her. One of my best friends is white. My other best friend is half white. So please understand that, like, this is not a dig at white women. But when it comes to strange white women, women that I don't know you, I don't know what your angle is, and I just have to choose one of the two that's going to walk in the room, it's always going to be the white man, because of I don't know what your angle is, and because of my experience dealing with white women and the manipulations and the conniving things that have taken place against me and or my colleagues or my friends or my coworkers. This is so, and the thing is like, I have had white women say some of the most out of pocket stuff to me, do some of the most weird, just like boundary crossing things. I've had, when I worked at Wells Fargo, I had a white woman just come up to me. I had my hair in braids. This was when knotless braids first got popular, but I had some braids in, and I just remember she just walked up to me. I was at work. We were in the cafeteria. I was about to sign up for something. And she just walked up to me, didn't say anything to me. I've never spoken to this woman a day in my life. I don't know this woman. We're not on the same team. I don't even know if we work on the same floor, okay? We're down on the first floor in the cafeteria. She literally just walks up to me and grabs the end of my braids and just looks at it and then throws it and then walks off. And it was another woman, a white woman, that stood in front of me, and she looked, she was just like, what the hell was that? And I was just like, I don't know. Like, you know what? I just don't even have it in me to explain, okay? But that wasn't the first time that happened. With the same braids, I'd had it was a lady, she was like either Mexican or Colombian. Like, she spoke Spanish. Her first language was Spanish. But whenever we were at a Christmas party, and she was just talking to me. She was really sweet, you know, but she was just like, oh, I love your hair. And she just grabbed my hair, and she was just like, you know, what is it? You know, but the vibe was different. You know, obviously, you don't just touch people's hair, right? But again, she's from another country. I don't know what their customs are, whatever. But the fact of the matter that we were at least having a conversation. But this woman, I don't know this woman. I don't know her. She just walked up to me, grabbed my hair, looked at it, tossed it, and then walked off, okay? So then another time, that was at work. This wasn't at work. We had took one of our animals to the vet. And me and my best friend had took one of our animals to the vet, and we were walking out, I think. Yeah, we were walking out of the vet, and this old white lady, I mean, she had one foot in the grave, okay?
she had her little dog, her little, I don't know, little something, little dog. And I guess it had pooped outside. So she walks in, mind you, I'm in regular civilian clothes, okay? I'm walking out, she's walking in, and I'm holding the door open for her. And she has poop in a napkin in her hand. Okay. And she tries to hand it to me. I don't know this woman. I don't work at this vet. I don't even look like, because they're wearing scrubs. I am wearing civilian clothing. She just tries to hand it to me. And I'm just like, I just look at her. I'm like, no, I'm not taking that. And then she just looks at me like I was wrong, rolls her eyes at me, and then proceeds to walk in. She walks past my best friend, which again, my best friend is half white, half Arab. Okay. So she looks Mexican, right? She doesn't try and hand it to her. She literally just tries to hand it to me. And then when I don't take it, like I was the one that was wrong. Okay. So this is the type of stuff that I've had to deal with before. I've never had a white man treat me the way white men, except for gay white men. Okay. That's the only other group of people that I've had to watch out for, or like later realize, oh, I should have been watching out for you. Okay. I work in corporate America. There was a situation where with my old boss and my old team lead, they pit me and the other black girl against each other in a sense where I was like the token good black girl, and because her, she has a name that isn't your typical American girl name, it's a very pretty name. I love her name, right? But it's not anything that a white woman would probably name her daughter, right? It's not like a Bonquisha, but it's a very pretty, but more AAVE type name, right? So, and she also speaks with AAVE more so than I do. And she has a very boisterous personality. She's very out there and funny and outgoing. And me, I'm typically pretty quiet, reserved, especially like when I don't know you, and we're working from home too. So it's really hard to engage with people when you're working from home. So they don't really get to know the real me. And I code switch, I do, okay, and don't care, right? Sometimes I won't code switch with the same people I was just code switching with 2 days ago, right? It just depends on my mood and how I'm feeling. That's just how I am. That's who I am. But at the time, I was still kind of new to the team. She was very new to the team. So whenever we had a manager switch and they were going over like the people who were in our team, and what we did on the team, they basically was just like, oh, well, I'm gonna call her Bonquisha, but they was just like, oh, well, Bonquisha, you need to watch out for her. She's the one, she has an attitude, and she's hard to get along with, and she this, that, and the third. It's really hard for her to grasp these concepts and this, that, and the third. Mind you, I had the same problems. Whenever I first started, I had these same issues. I was struggling when I first started this job. There were days where I was just, because there wasn't any training, there wasn't any real material available to try and read through to figure stuff out. So whenever you were trying to ask somebody, they don't really want to help you because they're lazy, whatever. Whatever. But it's the fact that they really try to pit us against each other. They were conspiring to pit us against each other to this new manager. And this new manager is a black woman. And she was just like, no, I'm not going for that. I'm just going to let you show me who you are. And I'm so glad that she did. I am so, so glad that she did that, because honestly, Bonquisha is the sweetest. I love her so much. And she's very helpful, very intelligent. I love her. That's all I'm gonna say. But it's the fact that this was our experience, and I didn't even know. The crazy part about it is I didn't even know none of this was happening. It was so much other stuff going on with Bonquisha and those two managers that I didn't know. And so then, when I was told about this later on, I was just like, okay, that actually explains a lot, because there was just little things going on that I caught wind of, I noticed, but I didn't know what the reasoning was behind it. So whenever I was told the story and the stories of what was happening, I was like, oh, so that explains this, that explains that, But again, white women, this is the reason why. And if you as a white woman are upset that black women are choosing to be in a conference room alone with a white woman or a black man, or a white woman or a white man, if we are choosing the white man and you're upset about it, then you cannot be upset at the men who are upset about us women choosing the bear.
You are alone in a conference room. Who do you want to walk in? A white man or a white woman.
See, now I got a question for any other black men who drive rideshare like me. Is it just me, or intoxicated, palm-colored women your most outlandish passengers? Like, I can't tell you how many times I've had my personal space violated. I can't tell you how many times they just get in my car and think they can do whatever they want. I can't tell you how many times they think, like, they can just get in my car and start asking me about how big my is. Like, I'm not a human to them. In most cases, I'm just a toy. You know what I'm saying? Like, the hyperfetishization is fucking real.
That surprises you, doesn't it? It shouldn't. While you were debating man versus bear, White Woman Whisperer said, who would you rather be alone in a room with, a white woman or a white man? And I'm here to tell you why I would choose a white man. This is your Islamophobia, Swanophobia edition. So for starters, the perception of Muslim women, especially Arab Muslim women, by white men is that we are helpless, that we're ignorant, subservient, innocent, uneducated. Mostly they are not seeking to subjugate us because they already perceive that we are subjugated. Now there is some fetishizing and the idea that we are consumable, but I can honestly tell you that in person that is relatively checked. Because again, they see us as innocent. So most of them know that if they overstep boundaries, they will be seen as a monster. Now white women, they see us as competition. And I think this is related to some kind of ruse of subservience. Like the stereotypes about us as Muslim women are how they try to market themselves to white men. Subservient, innocent, pure, even empty-headed. Not any type of challenge to their manliness. And this is partly why some of them feel very uncomfortable about the hijab. We make them feel naked and promiscuous. Better than, holier than thou, even judgmental. That's how they perceive us, by just presenting this way. Our stay-at-home, family-oriented lifestyle, all the cooking we do, they see it as competition. The only people to ever try to rip off my hijab were women. The only people to criticize my hijab in person to my face were women. One time, I had a woman shove me into shelving in a Target, telling me to take it off. Most of my restraining orders against violent Islamophobes, women. That surprises you, doesn't it? It shouldn't.
One of my favorite creators on this app, White Woman Whisperer, posed a sub-question to the man versus bear question, which...
Yeah, I really debated on stitching this because, like, I feel like as a Caucasian woman, this could be, like, a totally touchy subject. But I totally agree. So here's the thing. If I get irritated with men because they don't want to hear the responses to why we would choose a bear, then am I any better as a white female who's not open to hearing why a black female would choose a white male over a white female? Like, I'm totally open to hearing that. Like, I want to know why so I can better myself as a human being and treat other people better. And I feel like if more men were open to actually hearing that from women, this world might be a better place and vice versa. But I get it sometimes. I kind of call them like I don't really say much when it comes to this, but we talk about it at the gym sometimes. And like, there are a lot of very entitled white women. And they're just bitchy and mean. Like, they're just flat out cruel. And I see it happening. And sometimes I'll ask people to be like, you think I'm one of those women, don't you? Because I'm a female and like a semi-attractive female, so you assume I came from money. But what you don't understand is that I actually came from Houston and Dallas and was in the foster care system before I was 7. So I'm definitely not an entitled person, but I understand that comes along with my persona, but it's just not who I am as a person. But I am always open to hearing somebody say, like, what we can do to better improve ourselves as a human being. Because I am very much a woman's woman, and I want women to feel comfortable around being around me, because they definitely don't think I'm entitled or snotty or mean. And if I come across that way, I would love for somebody to address it with me. I feel like we had more of an open discussion on this. Like if the men could hear why women are choosing bear, and if white women could hear why black women are choosing a white male over a white female, we could have a discussion of how to make this world a better place. Because I don't always like the white ladies either. They do sometimes come across as very entitled or like they're owed something or something, and I don't know why we think that. I really don't. I guess it's not a concept I have in my mind, but I talk about this at the gym all the time because I am surrounded by a variety of people, and sometimes we have to self-reflect and realize that maybe we are the problem, and if we are the problem, how can we fix it and make it better? Because I don't want women to feel like that around me, and I don't want to feel like that around other women. I think we just need to all be more open to hearing what's being said. Hopefully that makes sense.
Black women, you are alone in a conference room. Who do you want to walk in? A white man or a white?
I really appreciate this creator for making this video for a lot of different reasons, and acknowledging how I've been feeling for quite some time as someone who escaped a toxic workplace that was due to bullying by white women in corporate America. And ironically enough, one of the best bosses I've ever had in my life was a white man in corporate America. I've had great white women too, but like more often than not really. With that said, I've been doing a lot of thinking as to why I think white men and black women, not only in dating, make great couples, but also with white men being like their leader, their boss, their team lead, why it's not as toxic as white women. And hear me out, but I think it's because white men just simply know their place in society is always going to be number one. They know that they're always going to get the job over anyone else. They know that they're always going to be seen as like the ideal candidate, the ideal working person, no matter what. And I've been thinking that simply like the existence of a black woman on their team, even if she's a gunner, even if she's going after everything, is never going to threaten him. Like he's non-threatened, meaning that he can give away every resource from mentorship to sponsorship to accolades, and he's still going to be ahead of her, which is why he's able to give those things without feeling like it's ever going to take away from him. And specifically, I think white women, or we've also, black women, have had horror stories with other black women, is that it feels like the person who is our leader, who's supposed to uplift us and give us access and mentorship and sponsorship, again, when they're doing it, I feel like they feel like it's taking away from their career or their essence. So they hold those opportunities back. They hold the praise back. They hold the promotions back. They hold the role changes back because they want it for themselves. And I feel like white men don't do that because they don't have to do it, because they will always get it. Even if they give that one opportunity to the next black girl, they know that their next opportunity is going to be equal and likely better just because of their position in society. And I think we should like really explore this a little bit more about who we're working for and what they're going to be able to offer us. Because like for me right now, as someone who is like transitioning careers, I'm specifically looking for a team lead or a mentor who's going to be able to open up doors for me. And if that's not something that you can do, I don't really want to work for you.
Guys, like, I am shocked at this guy's video. What? Anyways, I took some screenshots of comments. Now, beside me are some of these comments. Please pause to read if you want to. I just thought I should bring this update to you so you guys can know that her page is gone. The mass reported her page. Like, not really gone, but demonetized. Okay. And now people are asking her if there's any way they can help her, if like any platform they could, go support her. And I must say that I also, in the comments, I saw some, white people, asking how they can help, and stuff like that. So let me know what you all think in the comments. Like, I'm trying to, I'm trying to understand why TikTok demonetized her. Yeah, I get it. Some people were like, she shouldn't have asked the question. Well, I don't know anymore, because this is so bad. This is so bad. Anyways, guys, let me know what you all think in the comments, and thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video, share, comment, and of course, come back for another video. I'm gonna see y'all in my next one. White women, y'all need to just, stay calm and listen. Listen to Black women. Listen to what people are saying. Anyways, y'all have a nice day, and of course, I'm gonna see y'all in my next one. Bye.